Welcome to Daisy Delight. We're so glad you could join us for this program that's just for Daisy Girl Scouts. This video was created by the Volunteer History Committee of Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania. Do you say the Girl Scout promise at the start of your meetings? That's how we're going to start our video today. When you say the promise, make the Girl Scout sign with your right hand. We put up 3 fingers because there are 3 parts to the promise: serving God and your country, helping people, and living by the Girl Scout law. Let's say the promise together with these Daisy Girl Scouts.
On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law.
And now we're going to say the Girl Scout law together. If you do motions while you say the law, it is easier to remember.
I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courageous and strong, responsible for what I say and do, and to respect myself and others, respect authority, use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and to be a sister to every Girl Scout.
Good day to all my Daisy friends. Thank you for participating in our Daisy Delight program. So get ready to have some fun. Upon completion of our program, you will listen to the Daisy story and see what daisies can do. Sing Girl Scout songs, play a game, get ideas for a service project to make the world a better place, join in some Girl Scout traditions, and see the changes that have been made in the Daisy uniforms. Thank you for coming.
It's story time. Let's listen to a story all about Daisy Girl Scouts.
Hi everyone. Welcome Daisies. I'm going to read you a story. It is called Who is a Daisy Girl Scout? Who is that girl they're all talking about? Why don't you know? She's a Daisy Girl Scout. That Daisy is honest. She knows what is true. She tries to be fair when she's playing with you. She helps where she's needed. She'll get the job done. She's happy and cheerful to everyone. She's friendly and kind whenever she's out and acts like a sister to every Girl Scout. She listens to parents and leaders as well. She tries not to be wasteful, and that you can tell. She takes care of her world and gives back what it needs. She shows others she cares through her words and her deeds. Now you don't have to wonder who that Daisy can be. You knew all along that that Daisy is me.
Girl Scouts love to sing songs. We sing when we're working, when we're playing, and when we're just waiting for the next thing to start. Are you ready to sing with us? Make New Friends is a very old song. If your mother or your grandmother was a Girl Scout, she might have sung this song. Maybe you already sing it at your Daisy Girl Scout meetings.
Making new friends by keeping on. One is silver and the other's gold. The circle is round and has no end. That's how I want to be your friend. A fire burns bright, it warms the heart. We've been friends from the very start.
I've got that Girl Scout spirit. is a lively song to sing. Why don't you stand up and sing along with some of the people in the History Committee?
I've got that Girl Scout spirit up in my head, up in my head, up in my head. I've got that Girl Scout spirit up in my head, up in my head to stay. I've got that Girl Scout spirit deep in my heart, deep in my heart, deep in my heart. I've got that Girl Scout spirit deep in my heart, deep in my heart to stay. I've got that Girl Scout spirit down in my feet, down in my feet, down in my feet. I've got that Girl Scout spirit down in my feet, down in my feet to stay. I've got that Girl Scout spirit up in my head, deep in my heart, down in my feet. I've got that Girl Scout spirit all over me to stay.
Juliette Low was the amazing woman who started the Girl Scouts over 100 years ago. She died many years ago, but Miss Debbie from the History Committee will tell us all about her.
I'm going to play a game with you that's one of my favorite games. It's called Kim's Game. It's a memory game. So I'm going to tell a story and behold of some items as we go along. And I want to see how well you remember. So put on your thinking caps. As you well know, my name is Juliette Low. I was born on October 31st, 1860, which happens to be Halloween. When I was born, the sun was shining, and I had such a great smile. When my uncle came to visit, he said that I looked like a daisy. And that became my nickname throughout my whole life. I grew up in a big family, and we had a lot of room. So I had the chance to play with my cousins and my brothers and sisters, and I really, really loved nature. I had my own horse that I rode in Savannah, Georgia. I also loved to go fishing and play with all kinds of animals, including frogs and toads and birds. When I grew up, I went to New York and I loved to draw, so I learned all about art. I learned how to paint and make fences and create things. One of the things that I created is a fence that's around my house in Savannah. It is an iron fence and it's still there today. Can you believe that? And it looks really good, if I must say so myself. I got married and we moved to England and Scotland and Ireland for a while. And while I was there, I got to meet Lord and Lady Baden-Powell and learned all about Boy Scouts and Girl Guides. I got so excited that I decided to come back to the United States and form my own Girl Scout troop here. Within a year, we changed our name from Girl Guides to Girl Scouts. And Girl Scouts was born March the 12th of 1912. Here's a picture of me when I was a little bit younger. I really loved having the girls come over, so much so that I bought the property across the street from me, and it looked just like a park. And I built curtains and a fence all around it so other people would not make fun of the girls when they were wearing their outfits to play in. I made their outfits and they were called bloomers. And they looked like big puffy shorts with a puffy top. The girls learned to sleep over. They learned how to play basketball. They learned how to play soccer. and they just had a lot of fun. I, like everyone else, had some things that made it harder for me when I was getting older. I had gotten an ear infection climbing up a tree when I was a little kid to watch my cousins play, and never told my parents about it, so my eardrum ruptured. So I couldn't hear well from my one ear. And then when I got married, people threw rice, which was supposed to be good luck, and one of the pieces of rice flew into my ear, my other ear, and I lost my hearing there. So I had to learn to look at everyone, to read their lips, and to just have courage to do the things that I wanted to do. One of the things that I loved in the afternoon was to drink tea. So that's why the teacup is here. It was Girl Scouts grew because we allowed girls to be themselves and to do things that they wanted to do throughout the world. And I told you that I love to go fishing. So guess what? One day I got all dressed up because I was going to this special party. And I met Rudyard Kipling there. He wrote the Jungle Book, and he and I got bored with what was going on. So we went outside to their pond and we went fishing in our gown and tux. Can you believe that? It was so much fun that we laughed about it and had a really good time. I hope that you have as much of a good time in Daisy Scouts as I have in presenting this story to you. I hope that you enjoyed this little story, and now we're going to try and see what you remember.
Now we're going to play Kim's game. This is a very old memory game. It's even in the very first Girl Scout handbook that Juliette Low wrote over 100 years ago. Take a really good look at all these things. Then we'll see if you can remember them. Next, we'll cover everything up. If you would like, you can pause the video and write down or draw a picture of everything you remember. Ready? Here we go.
So let's try some clues. First, when was I born? See if you can remember, because that might be a good clue to figure out one of the things that was on the table. If you guessed Halloween, you're absolutely right. I had a nickname throughout my whole life because my uncle called me it. And that's what you're called, a daisy. So that's the second thing. I loved playing with my cousins, and I loved animals. So let's see if you can remember. I had my own horse, and I loved going to play with frogs and toads. So how are you doing so far? We have 4 things already. We're doing great. Sometimes I would get really thirsty in the afternoon. So every day when I was in England and Scotland and Ireland, we would have a break and I would have tea. And to this day, tea is my favorite drink. It helps to warm me up and makes me feel at home. When I got married, people wanted to wish us well. So they threw rice as a success. And a piece of rice went into my ear, and that's how I lost my hearing in my ear. We lived in London and Ireland and in Scotland. And there I met Lord and Lady Baden-Powell. They formed Boy Scouts and Girl Guides. In fact, they formed them in February. So that's why we have International Friendship Day. And I liked it so much that I decided when I came back that I was going to start a Girl Scout troop in Savannah. So we started Girl Scouts on March the 12th in 1912. Here's my picture when I was younger. Mr. Kipling and I had fun with fishing. When I had girls, they learned all kinds of things, but I wanted to make sure that they didn't feel like they couldn't do anything that they really wanted to do. So we played basketball and we played soccer. And finally, Girl Scouts grew so big that it's now all over the world. I hope you enjoyed our memory game and see how many things you got right. We could always do it again sometime. Thank you.
There are many traditions that all Girl Scouts do, like the Girl Scout sign. Let's learn about some of them.
The Girl Scout quiet sign looks like this.
When you see a leader or other scout make this sign, you make it too. It is a reminder of the 5th Girl Scout law. You're responsible for what I say and do.
The Girl Scout handshake is done by shaking hands with the left hand while making the Girl Scout sign. It is used by Girl Scouts and Girl Guides around the world.
The Girl Scout motto is be prepared.
A Girl Scout is ready to help whenever needed and is able to do a job well, even in an emergency.
The Girl Scout slogan is do a good turn daily. It has been used since 1912 and reminds girls how they can have a positive impact on the lives of other people.
Even though Girl Scouts started more than 100 years ago, Daisy Girl Scouts only started about 35 years ago. Before then, girls in kindergarten and first grade could not be Girl Scouts. Now let's take a look at Daisy uniforms and how they have changed over the years. When Daisy Girl Scouts first began, the only uniform they had was the Daisy tunic. Daisies had a wonderful time learning all about Girl Scouts, but they didn't have any pedals or badges to earn to put on their uniforms. Daisy Girl Scouts can still wear that blue tunic, but now they can wear a vest instead if they want to. Over the years, even the Daisy Girl Scout pin has changed. This is what the first Daisy pin looked like. Now the Daisy Girl Scout pin looks like this. About 15 years after the Daisy Girl Scout program started, the pedals were introduced as a way to help Daisies learn all about the Girl Scout promise and law. And now look at all the badges and journeys and patches Daisies can earn. These badges and patches for Daisy Girl Scouts help them learn about so many fun and interesting things. Over the years, there have been many different things Daisy Girl Scouts could wear, besides just their tunic or vest. There have even been Daisy socks and Daisy hairbands. Let's sing some more songs. This Daisy troop picked their favorite songs to sing for you. The Daisy Girl Scout song. This song is all about Daisy Girl Scouts.
Daisy Girl Scouts lead the way, see us work and see us play. We can dance and we can sing, we can do most anything. We have fun and help each day, Daisy Girl Scouts are here to stay.
Princess Pat. There are lots of motions to go with this song.
This is a repeat song. This is a repeat song. The Princess Pat, the Princess Pat, white infantry, white infantry. She sailed across, she sailed across the 7 seas, the 7 seas. She sailed across, she sailed across the channel too. And she took with her a rig bamboo. A rig bamboo. Now what is that? It's something made by the princess hat. It's red and gold and purple too. That's why it's called a rig bamboo. Now Captain Jack had a mighty fine crew. He sailed across the channel too. Let his ship sail, and yours will too. If you don't take a rig bamboo, a rig bamboo. Now what is that? It's something made by the princess hat. It's red and gold and purple too. That's why it's called a rig bamboo.
The Candyland Song is a lively song. Sing it faster and faster.
Oh, take me back to the candy land where the cotton candy goes. Poof, poof. And the little marshmallows hang from the trees and the lollipops grow from the ground. What? The lollipops grow from the ground. Yes, the lollipops grow from the ground. Oh, take me back to the candy land where the cotton candy goes. Poof, poof. And the little marshmallows hang from the trees and the lollipops grow from the ground. What? The lollipops grow from the ground. Yes, the lollipops grow from the ground. Oh, take me back to candy land where the cotton candy goes. Poof, poof. And the little marshmallows hang from the trees and the lollipops grow from the ground. What? The lollipops grow from the ground. Yes, the lollipops grow from the ground. Oh, take me back to candy land where the cotton candy goes. Poof, poof. And the little marshmallows hang from the trees and the lollipops grow from the ground. What? The lollipops grow from the ground. Yes, the lollipops grow from the ground. Oh, take me back to candy land where the cotton candy goes. Poof, poof. And the little marshmallows hang from the trees and the lollipops grow from the ground. What? The lollipops grow from the ground. Yes, the lollipops grow from the ground. Oh, take me back to candy land where the cotton candy goes. Poof, poof. And the little marshmallows hang from the trees and the lollipops grow from the ground. What? The lollipops grow from the ground. Yes, the lollipops grow from the ground. Oh, take me back to candy land where the cotton candy goes. What? The lollipops grow from the ground. Yes, the lollipops grow from the ground.
If you like finding out all about Girl Scouts, you might want to visit the Girl Scout Museum at the Valley Forge Service Center. Let's take a peek inside the Girl Scout Museum. In our museum, you can find out more about Juliette Low and the beginning of Girl Scouts. This is a Juliette Low doll. This is one of the very first Brownie uniforms. It had bloomers, puffy short pants to wear under your dress. Does your leader wear a uniform like this? It's very old. Did you know that many years ago, there were even Girl Scout pajamas? And Girl Scout shoes. Our museum also has dolls, books, and toys. Do you see the Girl Scout jigsaw puzzle in this display? There are many different old uniforms that you can try on. These are all uniforms that Girl Scouts used to wear. There are also many activities for you to do in the museum. We hope you'll come and visit our museum sometime. Girl Scouts have always helped other people. There are lots of ways to help. Maybe you can collect items for a local food pantry. Or you can make cheerful cards for friends and neighbors or people in a nursing home. Or you can make thank you cards for police or firefighters. These simple cat toys are made from toilet paper rolls. The dog toy is made from an old t-shirt. Toys like these can be made for friends or for an animal shelter. What else can you do to help other people? We hope you have enjoyed this video and learned some new things. A packet of resources for the video can be downloaded from the GSEP website. If you would like, you can purchase patches for this program from the GSEP shop.